The Young and the Restless, spoilers, full Monday update, the 6th of July, 2026. Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. It is a beautiful Sunday night, and I am wide awake because I absolutely need to vent about what just happened in Genoa City. Grab a snack and a drink, because we have a massive amount of drama to unpack today. Let's get right into it. I cannot believe they actually did that. I am sitting here, staring at my screen, completely and utterly speechless, but also screaming internally. Are you kidding me right now? We need to talk about Friday's cliffhanger and what is coming this Monday, July 6th, because my jaw is literally on the floor. I mean, I have been watching The Young and the Restless for years, like well over a decade, and I have seen some wild, unhinged storylines. But this is next-level psycho behavior, and I am both entirely here for it and absolutely terrified for my favorite characters. Let's just jump right into the madness, because I cannot hold my thoughts in for another second. First of all, Patty Williams. Patty freaking Williams. I am sorry. But can we just take a collective moment to process the sheer horror of Friday's episode? She actually stabbed Jack Abbott. She took a kitchen knife and plunged it right into his stomach. I was yelling at my TV. And then, in true, classic, deeply disturbed Patty fashion, as Jack is bleeding out on the floor of his own home, she just cradles him. She cradles him like a baby while he is literally dying from a wound she inflicted. The visual of the blood pooling on the Abbott mansion floor, the twisted, delusional look of love and obsession in Patty's eyes, it was chilling. It gave me full-body goosebumps. I mean, we all knew Patty was unhinged. We remember when she poisoned Little Summer Newman. We remember the whole insane plastic surgery face swap where she pretended to be Dr. Emily Peterson. But this feels so final, so brutally violent. And why did she do it? Because Jack would not give in to her twisted blackmail? Because he would not recreate their magic from the yacht? I kind of feel like Jack underestimated just how far gone Patty is right now. He thought he could manipulate her, maybe outsmart her to find out where Diane was being held, but you cannot outsmart someone who is operating on a completely different plane of reality. Now, Jack is in critical condition, his life hanging by a thread, and I am just sitting here wondering if Peter Bergman is going on vacation or if they are actually going to put Jack in a coma for the next 6 months. Because if Jack dies, I am rioting. I swear to you, I will riot in the streets of Genoa City myself. But wait, I am getting ahead of myself. Let's talk about the absolute nightmare that is waiting for Diane and Kyle. So, Monday's episode. The spoilers say Diane and Kyle are finally returning home. Diane has just escaped from her own personal hell. Let's be real for a second. Diane has been missing for weeks, locked in that creepy barred room by that shady doctor, Lawrence Markham, who, by the way, I am 100% convinced is Martin Laurent in disguise. I mean, the Alan Laurent books on the shelf? It is too obvious. So Diane has been gaslit, terrified, holding a letter opener for dear life, thinking she is losing her mind. She finally gets free. She finally gets to go home to her husband. She walks through the front doors of the Abbott mansion, probably expecting a warm hug, a safe haven, maybe a stiff drink. And what does she find? Her husband bleeding out on the floor. I cannot even begin to imagine the psychological trauma. Am I the only one who thinks the writers are just torturing Diane at this point? I know, some people hate Diane. I know she has a history of faking her own death and manipulating people, but come on. The woman just survived a hostage situation. Can she get 5 minutes to breathe before walking into a literal slasher movie? And poor Kyle. Kyle has been running around town, defending his mother's honor to Detective Burrow, desperate to find her, and now he has to walk in and see his father bleeding out. The trauma this family is enduring is off the charts. And here is the most terrifying part of this whole scenario. Where is Patty? The spoilers are teasing that Patty might still be in the house when Diane and Kyle walk in. If Patty is lurking in the shadows of the Abbott mansion with a bloody kitchen knife, I am going to lose my mind. Imagine the showdown. Patty utterly despises Diane. She blames Diane for everything wrong in her life with Jack. If Diane walks in and catches Patty covered in Jack's blood, we might actually get a fight to the death. I kind of want to see Diane go full Mama Bear survival mode and take Patty down. But at the same time, Diane is already so weakened and disoriented from being drugged and held captive. If Patty attacks them from behind, this could turn into a triple homicide situation. I am dreading it, but I also know I am going to be glued to my screen on Monday, not even blinking. Let's talk more about the history of Jack and Patty. Their history goes back so far. Jack never really loved Patty the way she loved him. He used her, he discarded her, and it broke her psyche. The yacht incident was just the tip of the iceberg. Patty's descent into madness has been a slow, tragic burn, but that does not excuse her turning into a literal slasher villain. And the fact that she cradled him? That is textbook Patty. She hurts the thing she loves because she cannot control it, and then she tries to comfort it. It is sick, it is twisted, and the acting from Stacy Haiduk and Peter Bergman in that Friday scene was Emmy-worthy. You could see the life draining out of Jack's eyes. The realization that he pushed a crazy woman too far. He tried to play the hero to save Diane, and it cost him his life. Or at least, his internal organs. And let's expand on Kyle. Kyle Abbott has grown so much lately. He has been trying to hold the family together, trying to be the strong son. Walking into that mansion, expecting to celebrate his mother's return, maybe popping a bottle of champagne, only to step in his father's blood. That is going to change Kyle forever. This is the kind of trauma that turns a good guy dark. Will Kyle seek revenge? Will he go after Patty himself? If the police do not catch her, I can totally see Kyle taking matters into his own hands. And Diane. Diane is going to blame herself. She is going to think, if I had not been kidnapped, if I had not been a target, Jack would not have been in this position. The guilt is going to eat her alive. And you know who is going to use that guilt against her? Victor. If Victor finds out about Jack's stabbing, he will not even care. He will probably use the chaos at the Abbott mansion to further his own corporate goals. Okay, deep breath. Let's pivot, because the Abbott mansion is not the only place where absolute disasters are unfolding. We desperately need to talk about Nikki and Victor Newman. I am so furious I could scream. So furious. According to the Monday, July 6, spoilers, Nikki is officially being discharged from the hospital. She cannot recover at the GCAC, so Victor, playing the ultimate doting, loving, concerned husband, is opening up the Newman Ranch for her to recover at home. He wants her surrounded by the love of her children and grandchildren. Oh, how sweet, right? Wrong. So wrong. I am sorry, but Victor Newman is the most toxic, manipulative, ruthless human being on the face of the planet, and I am sick of people defending him. Let's review the facts, shall we? Nikki has been suffering from these blinding, agonizing headaches. She legitimately thought she was dying. She was terrified. And what did Victor do? Did he comfort her? Did he get her the best medical help without an ulterior motive? No. He used her absolute terror and vulnerability to trick her into signing a medical power of attorney that was actually a legal document transferring all of her personal Newman Enterprises shares into a trust that HE controls. He stole her shares while she thought she was on her deathbed. And it gets worse. While she has been heavily sedated on whatever special therapies he claimed to be giving her, he has been quietly liquidating her assets. He is literally looting his wife's estate before she even takes her last breath. And now, he has the audacity, the absolute unmitigated gall, to bring her back to the ranch and play the hero? He is framing this as a beautiful family reunion, surrounding her with love, when in reality, he is moving his prisoner to a more secure location so he can keep her drugged and compliant while he robs her blind. I cannot handle the hypocrisy. I mean, think about it. Nikki is in no condition to fight back. She is weak, she is confused, and she trusts him. She actually believes Victor is taking care of her. It breaks my heart to see Nikki, this strong, fierce, iconic woman, reduced to a pawn in Victor's endless, psychotic game for corporate control. Remember when Victor faked his own death? Remember when he replaced Jack with a doppelganger? We always say Victor goes too far, but this? Stealing from his sick wife? This is a new low, even for the mustache. Thank God for Victoria. Seriously, Victoria Newman, is the only one in that family with her eyes wide open right now. She is already starting to suspect that her father is up to no good. She noticed the asset liquidation. She knows Victor does not do anything out of the pure goodness of his heart. I am praying, I am literally begging the writers to let Victoria blow this whole thing wide open. I want Victoria to march into that ranch, grab her mother, and expose Victor in front of everyone. But knowing Victor, he probably has some backup plan to gaslight Victoria or threaten her into silence. And what about Nick and Adam? Nick is currently dealing with his own massive drug addiction fallout and the whole Matt Clark amnesia mess. Adam is babysitting Matt at the ranch. Wait, let's think about this. Matt Clark is at the ranch. Nikki is being brought to the ranch. Adam is at the ranch. The Newman Ranch is basically a powder keg right now. You have an amnesiac psycho like Matt, a drugged and robbed matriarch like Nikki, a scheming patriarch like Victor, and Adam just lurking around observing it all. This is going to explode in Victor's face. And honestly, I am going to throw a party when it does. I know some fans are loving this classic, ruthless Victor storyline. I see the forums. People are like, oh, Victor is just protecting the company from outsiders. He is doing what he has to do. Are you people watching the same show? He is abusing his wife. He is medically and financially abusing Nikki. There is no justification for this. None. And if the show tries to spin this as he did it for her own good, or if Nikki just forgives him in 2 months, I am going to throw my remote at the television. She needs to divorce him, take him for everything he is worth, and leave him to rot in that empty ranch by himself. I am also thinking about how these two storylines might intersect. Jack and Nikki have always had a special bond. They have been lovers. They have been best friends. If Jack is fighting for his life in Genoa City Memorial Hospital and Nikki is trapped at the ranch, they cannot even comfort each other. Diane has been so jealous of Jack and Nikki's connection lately. Remember when Diane caught Jack and Nikki in that compromising position a while back? Diane was furious. But now, with Jack bleeding out, all that petty jealousy seems so pointless. Life is too short for these petty squabbles. But this is a soap opera, so the drama will only multiply. Okay, back to the point. Monday's episode is going to be a monumental shift for the canvas. We have Jack fighting for his life, Diane and Kyle walking into a bloodbath, Patty potentially on the loose as a knife-wielding maniac, and Nikki walking into a gilded cage designed by her own husband. The stakes have literally never been higher. I am terrified for Jack. I really am. If Patty is still in that house, she is unpredictable. She might try to take Diane hostage again. She might try to finish the job with Jack. And let's not forget, Tracy was just pressing Patty for answers in the park. When Tracy finds out what Patty did to her brother, oh man, do not mess with Tracy Abbott when her family is on the line. Tracy will end her. This is what I love and hate about this show. It pulls you in, it makes you care so deeply about these characters, and then it rips your heart out. I have been invested in the Jack, Diane, Nikki, and Victor dynamic for decades. To see Jack bleeding out on his floor and Nikki being manipulated while she is sick, it is heavy. It is dark. But it is damn good soap opera television. I am literally bouncing my leg in anxiety just thinking about the opening sequence of Monday's episode. The camera panning over the Abbott mansion, the dramatic music, the slow creak of the front door. I can already picture the exact look of sheer terror on Diane's face. I can hear Kyle screaming for an ambulance. I can see Victor's smug, satisfied smirk as he tucks Nikki into bed at the ranch, knowing he holds all the cards. It is going to be cinematic. It is going to be heartbreaking. And I am going to need a whole box of tissues. I need to know what you guys think. Am I overreacting about Victor? I mean, I know I am not, but tell me anyway. Do you think Patty is going to attack Diane? Do you think Jack is going to survive this? Or are we looking at a long-term coma storyline? Let me know in the comments, because I am going to be awake all night obsessing over this.